He is a cancer survivor who is also an outstanding skateboarder. Tommy Carroll of Glenview is accomplishing his goals and not letting the fact that he is blind stand in his way. This is an amazing story, and I want to thank you for being with us today, Tommy, and sharing your story, and also to Jacob Drescher for joining us. You're the executive director of the Children's Oncology Services Incorporated, a not-for-profit organization dedicated to helping kids like Tommy. And you were once one of those kids yourself. Tommy, I want to get your story. I was looking at the video of you on that skateboard, and I'm absolutely amazed at what you can do. And I get the feeling that to you, it's no big deal.
You know, it really isn't. I mean, well, for one, for skateboarding, I've practiced for so many thousands of hours, no matter what condition I may be in. Just with all that practice, it's just like a second nature. And then another thing is, just ever since I've been a little kid, my parents have never allowed me to think, oh, I'm blind, oh, I can't do this, oh, I had cancer, oh, I should be a wimp. No, there's no way I can ever be like that. So I've always gone through normal school, normal activities, everything. So skateboarding was just something I picked up normally and have done and proved that because I've liked it so much.
You know, every now and then I see you take a tumble and you get right back up. Are you ever afraid?
You know, I try not to think about being afraid because then that's when you get afraid. If you don't worry about being afraid, then you won't be afraid. I mean, I wear all my pads when I skateboard, so sometimes your pad might slide down, you might get a cut, but I'm fortunate not to have had too many serious injuries because even though I might try unsafe tricks, I wear safe equipment. So that allows me to be slightly more safe, but you're never going to get good unless you take risks. So, and I'm all for being good.
Well, we saw you playing the drums, running cross-country track, doing wrestling, doing a lot of things. A lot of this you do at the camp run by Children's Oncology Services Incorporated. Is that correct? You learned some of this there?
Well, we actually not most of those things that you've mentioned, but at camp, I've learned how to scuba dive at camp, which is something you probably haven't seen in the video, and also at camp we water ski, and I've been snow skiing for 10 years, and there's also a ski trip that we do through COSI, and we go out to Park City, Utah for a week, and we have a great time there. We ski in Park City Mountain Resort, and we have an awesome time, and we ski with good instructors. So not running and wrestling, those are more school-oriented things.
Okay. Jake Drescher, you're executive director of CSOI. Tell me about your involvement with this group. You too have an interesting story.
Sure. I was actually diagnosed with leukemia when I was 16 years old. And at the time, I knew about the organization. I knew about the One Step at a Time camp that Tommy's been speaking about. My nurse was always trying to influence me to go, and I resisted. For whatever reason, it just wasn't in the cards for me when I was a teenager. But when I was old enough to be a counselor, she said, Jake, there's no more excuses. You're coming up to camp. You're going to be a counselor. And from that first day, I was hooked. The other counselors that were there, many of them had grown up with the programs. They were all cancer survivors. We were all the same age, and it was this immediate new social network that I had engaged in, and it really just changed my life. It made me
pretty young to be executive director, right? How old are you?
I'm 29 years old now. I was diagnosed when I was 16, and I've been involved with the organization now for 10 years.
Very briefly, you see some parallels between yourself and Tommy?
I do. Tommy mentioned something about not being afraid, not letting your disease get in your way of accomplishing things. And I think both Tommy and I have recognized that we can do big things with our lives despite these challenges. And, you know, that's really what One Step at a Time and the Children's Oncology Services is all about. One thing that I'm always, a fun story that I'm always proud to tell about Tommy that really just exemplifies how these kids can accomplish their goals. I was fortunate to be at summer camp with Tommy a couple of years ago. Tommy's a great swimmer, but as you mentioned, Tommy's blind, so he has no idea what the lake up in Lake Geneva really looks like and how daunting that task can be to a child. Tommy qualified to swim across the lake. Every year, a number of kids can qualify to swim literally across Lake Geneva.
And that's what tells me what I know about this organization. It seems to be all about overcoming fear, and you're all doing that. I want to congratulate you both on what you're doing with a wonderful organization. Children's Oncology Services. If you'd like more information, there's the website you see, onestepatatime.org, or check out our lunch break website. A sizzling